Okay. All right, guys, welcome to my kitchen. I think I'm going to get the camera to be a little closer and straighter. I'm having to use my phone and on Zoom. It is not that easy, guys. I hope y'all are doing well. I missed y'all last week. Let's see if that works better. Yes, I think so. So if you could just definitely keep your video off for this section, that would be great. I still think it's a little crooked, but guys, it's just going to be what it's going to be. We'll wait just a couple minutes to get closer to our 7:30 start time. But guys, I've got all kinds of stuff out to talk to you about being prepped and prepared. That's kind of going to be the topic tonight. More than like the idea of prepping is really, really fun and exciting, but I really want you to think more of how can I be prepared, not necessarily prepped. And I know that might sound a little silly, but I promise I'll explain how that will work in just a minute. All right. Still not happy with the angle of this camera. Maybe that'll be better. I don't know. Y'all are probably like, it's fine, leave it alone. Okay. All right, we're almost there. Well, I hope that y'all have had a great Monday. I'll tell y'all, so our area, we've had spring break last week. We were on vacation and our trip got kind of messed up because of sickness. And I'm highly allergic to cats. And apparently a cat had been in the home we were renting and I was very sick. And I told my husband Tuesday, I said, please don't make me stay here anymore. And so we drove 10 and a half, 11 hours straight home in the middle of the night. We left in the late evening. We got home at about 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. And then one of our children had fever and I had bronchitis severe at the doctor, had to have an x-ray. It was just crazy. But I just talked to a couple of my one-on-ones today and they can see my 8 app. Y'all know what that is, your food journaling app or whatever. And one of them, she said, I was just so, I don't know, she didn't really say the word impressed, but I think that's what she meant. She was intrigued as well that I stayed on plan. And I told her, so it's a little extra tip while we're waiting on that 7:30 p.m. time. I find in my journey for my life, because I've been doing it so long, I suppose, that THM is what I call non-negotiable. And I pray that for all of you too. Although you may say, I'm fine. I don't have to be 100% on plan. That's fine. I do. I need to be 100% on plan because it keeps me healthy. But no, it did not. I had a lot of people ask me that while I was sick. You just never went off plan. You stayed on plan. Honestly, when you're sick, that's the most important time to be on plan so you can support your body. So anyway, spring break is over. We are back in a routine at our house and I couldn't be happier. So if you guys could be sure to mute yourselves, I'd appreciate it. When I get through with this talk, I will, of course, open the floor for discussion. It's going to be a little different for me because I'm using my phone, so I can't see everybody on my phone. So just know, though, whenever we get to that point, that you're more than welcome to do that, and I will.
I am watching you.
If you could please mute, though, that would be great because it's going to record all of that on the recording that other people are going to get. And then we're going to get started. So everybody be sure that you're muted and we're going to get started. So difference between prepping and being prepared. So when we're prepared with our Trim Healthy Mama journey, we have maybe a plan. This is what I do. I choose 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, S&E each, and a few dinners, 2S, 2E. And it's on my menu. Okay. All of my clients get this, my group and my one-on-one clients, they get this each week. And this is my 2 ideas for breakfast, 2 ideas for lunch, 2S, 2E suppers. Then I have snacks here. I have blanks for my clients. If y'all could please mute yourselves, please, that would be great. There's someone that is not muted. But anyway, so if this right here overwhelms you and you're not a group or a one-on-one client, just get a piece of notebook paper, friends. I'm going to have eggs and spinach here, or I'm going to have oatmeal. and you can just do it. But this is being prepared. This is being prepared. Having a menu, having some ideas, because you can just come in and say, what am I having for breakfast? Yep, that's what I'm having for breakfast. And you are ready to go. You don't have to sit there and go, what am I going to have for breakfast? Because when you have a plan and you're prepared, you can buy your groceries off of this and you're ready. You're ready for your week, right? Okay, so that's tip number one. Tip number two, be prepared with your cookbooks. So I have 2 copies. I have a kitchen copy and a desk copy because I am a Trim Healthy Mama coach and I do this full time and I'm always talking about these recipes. So when I'm in my office talking to my clients, I can pull my desk copy down that's beautiful and clean and I can go straight to things. So say somebody says, I really want a good oven recipe out of Trim Healthy Future. I can get my Trim Healthy Future book. I can go to my oven tab because that's how she has her things organized. We've got the oven section here. So I just made that oven and I can say, oh, let me look. Baked spaghetti. That is a delicious recipe that I've made out of Trim Healthy Future. And maybe they'll say, I need a quick meal. Okay, I can go to 5-minute meals. I already have that done. Tuna melt. That was delicious. You looking for an eat? Tuna melt. That was it. Okay. Hey guys, I really need y'all to mute yourselves. Please. Please mute yourselves. Thank you. Okay. So that's cookbooks. Have them marked. These are cheap little tabs that you can get at Walmart or the office supply store. Okay. So there is really no reason why you can't do that, guys. Very easy to do. Even get your kids to do it for you if you want them to. All right. So those are the main THM cookbooks that I always have tabbed. And it's just easy to find stuff. Even when I'm in the kitchen and I'm like, ooh, I have the hankering for an S shake. I can just open up one of them, go to shakes and find an S shake. And it doesn't take me forever to figure it out. The next step to being prepared is to have all of the things. Now, I'm not a huge proponent for pushing all of the THM products on people, especially people that are new to THM. But if you're going to do Trim Healthy Mama, you need to have a protein powder. Now, it might not be from the Trim Healthy Mama store. Hey, that's okay. Long as it's on plan. You can get Vital Proteins collagen at Walmart, that little blue canister. You've got an on-plan protein powder, okay? That's collagen. Other things that you can get there, J-Rob is a whey protein brand that's on plan. THM, of course, the whey, the Creamy Dreamy Hemp. You've got sweeteners. You can get all kinds of sweeteners at the grocery store, easy to do. I did a talk on sweeteners a while back. If y'all want to go back and catch that replay, you can. But I store my THM products in mason jars because the bags, for me, usually don't close very well, okay? And so I just pulled a couple of the jars that I have. This is super sweet. And guys, it needs to be relabeled here, but I know that that's super sweet. This is my favorite cocoa. This is the Ghirardelli Dutch processed cocoa, and it comes in a little smaller bag. So it's in a smaller jar. And I have in my kitchen, excuse me, residual effects of bronchitis. I have my oven here, my oven and stove, and to the right, I have 3 small drawers. One's about like that big, and then there's 2 under it. They're kind of deep, of course, deep drawers, and then about this tall. There's 2 of them. So my jars go in there. I have a basket with all of my extracts, maybe some of my powder and that kind of thing. They are in there for my convenience whenever I'm cooking. And usually if I'm mixing up a shake or making batter for a baked good or just making my meal, all of my stuff is handy and right there. So being prepared in your kitchen is very important. All right, so these right here, the next thing I want to talk to you about being prepared and prepping will be these 2 mixes. This is from Gwen's Nest, Gwen, Gwen apostrophe S, Nest, like a bird nest, Gwen's Nest. Just go to her website, guys. She has a multitude of on-plan seasoning mixes. So this is an onion soup mix. This is a ranch dressing mix. Now, I don't use these for anything else except for my Mississippi roast, and that recipe is on my website. But I keep these made here because we make that roast quite frequently, and I use it with deer roast. I've used it with beef chuck roast, and I've done it with chicken. And it's a great thing just to throw into the crock pot, let it sit all day. You add some pepperoncinis and butter, and you have a great meal for the family. You're going to add some sides to that, of course, but I always have those seasonings ready to go. I do a couple tablespoons of each and I'm done. This is getting kind of low, so that means I need to make a little more of that. All right, these right here that I usually have made and ready to go. This is the date night cookie from Trim Healthy Fusion. So these containers, this is the 5 ounce and this is the little 2.5 ounce container that I get from Walmart. They just have the little plastic containers with a lid. They're called condiment containers. And I get them on the aisle that has the plastic forks and spoons and that kind of stuff. It's just like right there in those little box bags. You can order them off Amazon. That's just where I get them. So I just pull the dry ingredients from the recipes that I like and I have them ready to go. All right. So this is a really great way to have that done. So that's date night cookie. This is a chocolate chip muffin in a mug, the skinny chocolate chip muffin in a mug from Trim Healthy Cookbook. And I just open up that cookbook and I have marked what wet ingredients I need to add to this. Okay. And honestly, I think this is an egg and maybe some liquid coconut oil. It's not a lot of anything. And then you just put that in a mug and heat it up and you have a snack, a little S snack. All right, these right here, these are powders for the Hello Health Sipper. Guys, somebody's still not muted. I really need to do that, please. I can't, I don't know who it is. It just says iPhone. It's really distracting. Okay, so these are the Hello Health Sipper powders. And then you add the rest of the wet ingredients and then also the sweet peppers. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can do something. All right, well, I guess I can do that. That is not good.
What?
Got it. I did it. Yay. Okay, so everybody's muted. All right, that would be much better for my brain. I don't do good multitasking, and that was really hard for me to focus. All right. This is more of that skinny chocolate muffin in a mug. I must have made a whole ton of those. Okay, this is from Trim Healthy Table. This is the instant cookie dough protein bar. Now, I don't ever make that into a bar. It's in Trim Healthy Table towards the back. It's a fuel pull, barely they say, because you do have some peanut flour and you have the chocolate chips that barely get it really close. It's right at 5 grams of fat for that fuel pull protein bar. But I call it a protein bowl because all I do is add 2 teaspoons of water and I keep it in this little container and I stir it up and I just eat it as a snack. Now it is a fuel pull. It has the 10 grams of protein and it is very tasty and it's very handy. So if you're ever like running out the door, go into a ball game or something and you need a fuel pull snack to get you where you need to be, you can have some of those instant cookie dough protein bars or bowls in the dry mix and everything in your little container. Everywhere you go, guys, you have 2 teaspoons of water. You got a water bottle, you got a bathroom, whatever. You can just add that 2 teaspoons of water, get you a spoon, stir it up real good, and you just eat it with a spoon. That's how Coach Amy does it. So that's a good one you can do. This is the 10-minute truffle dry mix, Trim Healthy Cookbook. And guys, I don't even know what this is. I'd be lying if I told you. It looks like Coach Amy needs to clean out her cabinets. Now, something that's missing here that I always have made and prepped is PPP. But my sweet, precious husband has decided he's going to have PPP every morning and try to start getting on plan. So I'm so excited. But as I was pulling all this out, I realized we were out of PPP cups. If you go to my YouTube, you can search PPP and you'll see how I prep those. But they are just in this container that's just like this and it has all the dry ingredients. All I do is I dump the contents of that into a pot and 2 cups of water and then I let it cook and it's done. That's all you have to do for PPP. All right, now I have a few other things over here that I want to show you guys. We're doing great on time. So I looked at the menu, right, that I showed you guys earlier. Got the menu here. And I said, okay, what meat do I need? So for my menu this week, I have a meatloaf. I have slow fajitas. My menu's from Trim Healthy Cookbook this week. Lentil soup, and then a chicken dish. I am all out of chicken breast, so somebody's got to go to the grocery store. But what I did is I went shopping in our freezer. Now, we're hunters. I don't know if that freaks some of y'all out, but we deer hunt. And so we have a freezers full of deer meat. And so I can go shopping in my husband's shop and get our meat for the day or the week or whatever. This is something that I had prepped and left over. This is taco chicken. It's what I called it. This is a very easy crock pot to freezer situation, guys. And I try not to ever have leftovers that go bad. And we're going to talk more about that in just a second. But this is just some meat that maybe we just got tired of eating on it during one week. And I just bagged up what was left in the container and stuck it in the freezer. And now I'll be able to use this stuff this week that I made weeks and weeks ago as for my lunch. So I can heat this up and put it over a salad and have a little chicken taco salad. This is some ground deer meat, and I will use it to make the meatloaf. These are tenderized deer steaks, and I'll use this to do my slow fajitas in the crock pot. Like I said, we're out of chicken for the other recipes, so we've got to get that ball. But one of the ways that I prep and I'm prepared is I thaw my meat out on Monday for the week. I'm going to get this back in my refrigerator, though. I'll be right back. All right, so that's going to stay in that little cake pan over there. All right, while we're on frozen meats and talking about that stuff, this is my THM freezer basket. You may have seen me share about this on the internet, on YouTube or Facebook, but I wanted to show you what's in there right now. This is Greek soup from Trim Healthy Future. So a lot of times I'll make big vats of soup, and maybe I just get tired of eating on it. Maybe the family's just been really busy. They didn't eat as much at home and that kind of thing. So like I said, I don't ever want to waste food. So I try to be mindful of what's in my refrigerator that I'm kind of tired of eating, I guess. I've had several meals from it. I try to put it in a container or a Ziploc bag. As you'll see, I have some here. And I'll label it most of the time. That's very important. But I try to do that. And then when I'm ready to have it again, I can just set it in the refrigerator, let it thaw, and I can have this as my quick lunches. If you haven't had this Greek soup out of Trim Healthy Future, you're missing out because this is so, so good. So I encourage you to try that. All right, let's see what else we have in here. All right, these are my Guilt Gone chocolate chip cookies. So whenever I make baked goods from Trim Healthy Mama cookbooks and different recipes, I don't keep out the entire batch because I'm not going to eat all that. And my family doesn't eat THM baked goods very often. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bag them up in little individualized sizes, whether it's a cookie or a muffin or whatever. I have a couple more things down here I forgot to grab. This is a Wake Up Trim Down banana bar. And so I have that that I prepared. That's an E. These are S cookies. Anyway, I just try to put them in individual bags, and then I freeze them so that I can eat on them later. Now, things like this are great for grab and go too, even just right out of the freezer, because if you're running out the door to do errands or go on a picnic, it'll thaw by the time you're ready to eat it, right? And so you're ready to go and have that. All right, what else do I have in here? Oh, these are some scoops of pumpkin puree. So sometimes if you're making a THM recipe, you know, you might not need that whole can of pumpkin puree. Well, you can just put your little scoops of extra stuff, let it flash freeze, and then you can put it in here and you have it ready. You can put this in with a smoothie or some other, maybe a soup or spaghetti sauce, just to add in a little veggie into there. We don't ever want to waste food, right? Especially these days. Oh my stars. Has y'all's grocery bill gone up? Mine sure has. This is just some leftover chicken. Here's some more chicken here that was left over. Our ice maker is broken, and so sometimes ice gets down in here. Sorry about that. This is a pineapple cake that I made. There in Trim Healthy Cookbook, there's a pineapple upside down single serve. I quadrupled it and made kind of like a pie. And so I just cut that into little triangles. And so I have a little dessert whenever I want. Now these are how I flash freeze soups. So this is hearty lentil soup. It is a crossover the way that I made it. So what I do, this is a single serve. What I do is I put it, the soup in the bag, and then I lay it flat in my freezer. And then once it is frozen, I'm able to have it kind of like a filing system in my basket, and it takes up less space. Okay, So there's that. Let me get all this back over here, and then I'll show you some of my other baskets. I have my refrigerator basket and my pantry basket. All right, these items are not in baskets, but they are in an extra freezer. These are the THM products. A very simple one to have and be prepared with is a THM Fuel Pool Brownie Bar. These are really going to be helpful for you when you're out and about, just to have on hand for those sticky situations whether you think you're going to be on plan or you think that you're going to be eating on time or you're not, it's not going to take that long in town. It always takes that long in town, doesn't it? So if you have something like this, you're more apt to stay on plan and keep your metabolism up with your timing. THM has released the Protein Pleasure Cookies. I hear another flavor is coming out tomorrow, but right now I can't remember which one it is. I can't remember if it's the peanut butter or the chocolate, the snickerdoodle. But anyway, that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna unpack my THM refrigerator basket. Okay, so these are some things that I have stuck in here, friends. This is my baking blend. I need to consolidate these two things. This is my baking blend that I have. I keep it in the refrigerator because I don't use it that much. And I just think it stays a little more fresh. And I've done this for years. So that's just a little tip if you want to know. And I need to consolidate that before I put all this back in the fridge. All right, so these are just things that I use in my THM journey that none of my family uses. So I try to keep them kind of separated so that things don't get lost in the refrigerator. And I know this is mine. I do love these. These are Fuel Pool crepini wraps. I have 2 sizes. Great to use for all the things, an egg sandwich, a taco, etc., whatever you want to do. And so I just kind of keep those right there in that basket. This is a couple slices of my own plan bread because I don't use that much of it. I keep it, typically the whole loaf stays in the freezer, and then I'll keep a couple of pieces in the fridge ready to go from whenever I need to make something really quick, like a sandwich or something. These are the Deep Dark Decadent Cupcakes from Trim Healthy Future. These are and they are very delicious. And so I had these set out from our vacation and I did not put them back in the freezer. So I'll be using these for breakfast, snacks, maybe a little dessert as my week goes on. Let's see. These are dry ingredients that I have prepped for one of the pina colada shakes. And so this is all the little powders, the sweeteners, and that kind of stuff. And I always have to go back and look at the recipe to see what the wet ingredients are, but it's very easy to do. It's more of a dumping situation where you're adding the nut milks and ice and maybe some fruit. But all the little 5,000 ingredients are already in here and done. As you see, I have a brownie bar and a cookie in my refrigerator basket. When I take that out, I'll get one from my freezer and replace it. This is my last Auntie Pearl's muffin. I love those. These are a great one to have and make. They freeze well and they are so, so delicious. These are ours cupcakes. I froze them with the ice, ours carrot cake cupcakes that I made from Trim Healthy Future. I went on a Trim Healthy Future kick, if you can't tell. But anyway, these are super delicious and I love them. They're great as dessert or breakfast or snack, whatever floats your boat. So we're just gonna sit those right there. This is what I have left of Coach Canada's peanut butter. This was going to go with me whenever I went to the ball field with my son Saturday, but I forgot to take it with me. So I'll use this as an snack with an apple one day this week. It'll be super yummy and it's enough protein in this little thing for my snack. So, so good. And this is another little Fuel Pool protein bar. All right. This is a ginger root. I use this to make ginger ice, and it just stays in my THM refrigerator basket, so I know where it is. All right, this is my THM pantry basket. Now, this is not all of the THM things that I have in my pantry, but it's more of the smaller kind of loose things. My children, I do not eat these Lily's chocolate chips because I have the THM chocolate chips, and the Lily's ones hurt my stomach. But my family, my boys and my girls both love the Lily's chocolates. So they have those kind of just thrown in there easy. These are some nut and chocolate chip packs that I really love to have on hand. This is a 1/4 cup of mixed nuts with about a tablespoon of THM chocolate chips. This is a great grab and go snack for whenever you need something super quick. And these will not go bad for a very long time. And like I said, my children will even eat these as well. So you can use these. Actually, you can put these in these containers too if you want. But we just quickly did it one day and put them in Ziploc bags to have for on the go. This is a crazy amount of active dry yeast. Like I said, this basket does not have a rhyme or reason, but it has all of my things in it. I use this for my overnight biscuits and cinnamon squares. And we had our Kroger was going out of business, so I bought a whole ton of those. Okay, so that's all that is. I have some more chocolate chips. It's a little bag of pumpkin seeds here. I love these almond butter packs. You can get Justin's or the Maranatha brand. Those are great to have on hand. This is where I also keep my my tuna pouches and that kind of thing, just because I know right where it is. Okay, guys, that is what I wanted to share with you. Now, whenever we're thinking about prepping and having some snacks ready to go, I wanted to encourage you to always have a plan, an idea, just like my menu, because it is important to know you don't have to make 50 different things each week. No, sir, you do not. You could make one batch of muffins and a fuel pull pudding, like Gluckie pudding or something, and that's enough. Especially if you know Monday night I'm gonna make spaghetti, Tuesday night we won't be home, Wednesday we have church, Thursday night I'm gonna make something with chicken. Like, it really just kind of helps ease the thing, and you know that you have something on hand. Hey, if you're not ready to make Gluckie pudding, a fuel pull, Too Good yogurt is a great protein source for your snack. I love a collagen coffee. You can use easy ingredients just to make a quick shake. Y'all, the options are endless. And so I just want to empower you that you don't always have to make things out of the cookbooks. You can pull things that are very easy to do. But on the flip side, if you're ready to have things like that in the pantry, you could make some individual servings out of some little jars of Gluckie pudding or Glory Glycine pudding. Something that I love to make that's very easy and it does not require prep because it's so easy to put together is the cottage berry whip. You do about half a cup of low-fat cottage cheese, half a cup of berries, some sweetener, and you zip it up in your blender, and that's it. I usually I'll just eat it out of the blender cup because it's just so easy and so good. It does not have to be difficult. You could always have a bar. Easy to do. So I just want to encourage you with that. Now, if you are somebody that really likes to have freezer meals done, most all of the casseroles that I have ever made, if you go ahead and cook them, you could freeze them and have them ready, kind of like a frozen lasagna would be. You would just be thawing it, heating it through when you're ready to have it. All of the THM casseroles that I've ever, even the ones with the veggies, even the ones with the cheese, even the ones with the cream cheese, all of those, I have always found that they are delicious. The soups, make a big pot of soup and eat on it the whole week. Very easy to do. You can also look in Trim Healthy Cookbook because the crock pot section has instructions to make them for freezer meals. And then your crock pot section in Trim Healthy Table has instructions on how to cook those in the Instant Pot, which is a very cool thing to have. Okay, guys, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you were encouraged about how I organize things that I prep. You'll probably want to rewatch this a million times, but I'm going to come around, and then if you have a question, you can use your video or just your audio to unmute yourself, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. I'm going to grab my cookbooks just in case I need to refer to those. And I'm going to tell y'all that I can't wait to see some of you, maybe meet some new friends. All right, it's a little messy behind me, but I know that y'all don't care. All right, y'all know I live in a real life world over here. Let's see what the chat's saying. Pam says, what is PPP? Good question, sister. Also, y'all can also type in your questions. That's no problem. I do need to grab my water if y'all give me just a sec. Whew, I've only been talking for 30 minutes straight, right? Okay, PPP is Perfect Poop Porridge. Pearl, the author, one of the authors of THM, right? She came up with that recipe a couple years ago, and it is very delicious and good. And it's just more of a blood sugar friendly oatmeal, because you're using old fashioned oats and steel cut oats. But she snuck in some flax, and also, I always say this wrong, whole psyllium husk flakes. It's just a little bit. Now that is the active ingredient in Metamucil. So don't get stressed out. But the PPP stands for perfect poop porridge. So she says that you have the tidies, constipated, or the loosies, the other way, it will fix it. It'll fix both ways and make it nice and happy. And it'll heal your gut, all kinds of great things. And I actually, if you go to Coach Amy's Southern Support Facebook group and search PPP, I have a PPP document of some different recipes that I've created, different flavors and stuff. I have a faux Reese's, I have apple cinnamon, a maple brown sugar. So good. Okay. All right. Hey, Pam, as you were typing, that's right what I was saying. So go to Coach Amy Southern Support on Facebook. That is one of my groups, free group for all of you guys. If you'd love to join that, you're welcome to. And I have a file there. It's a PDF that I shared a while back. All right. Gina does not know how to go live. Okay, so if you click the bottom, you can click the little video camera, and that should work. And I do have everyone muted, so you'll also have to unmute yourself. Hey guys, my kids just came home.
Amy, this is Debbie, and I have a question about quinoa. I know that, yes, and I know that it's good for inflammation because I have rheumatoid arthritis, and that helps with that. But my question is I've been told that I'm pre-diabetic. How does the quinoa help that, or does it?
Well, it's a very blood sugar friendly carb source, number one,
okay.
Because quinoa is not a grain, it's a seed. And so it's not going to be as harsh as, say, brown rice would be. And so it's great. Now, if you understand how, I'm sorry, I'm getting all kinds of notifications. An E works, we're going to always anchor those carbs with lean protein, which automatically is going to avoid your body from your blood sugar spiking. I highly encourage you to, Gina, you made it. You did it.
I did it.
All right, I'm going to finish answering her question. So I always want to encourage you, when you're having quinoa and the lean protein for your E, round that out with a non-starchy. And that's going to help keep you fuller that 3 to 4 hours. Okay. Any other questions about quinoa?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Who else has a question?
Hey, Amy, my name's Lauren.
Lauren?
Yes,
Oh,
I have
you're
a
so pretty.
question. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for helping me out get on here, by the way, tonight.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
My question is with smoothies. Breakfasts are hard for me. I'm a speech therapist and kind of hit the ground running with kids. And so I found that smoothies kind of help. So 2 questions. How would you prep for smoothies to kind of help keep it quick? And how quickly should I be drinking these smoothies? Because sometimes I drink it like my coffee and then I'm like, oh my goodness, this may have been too long. So could you answer this?
So first answer, let me just grab a recipe so that I can just kind of help you out. So first thing that you're going to want to do is, of course, figure out which one you want to do. Let's do the Frisky, for instance. That's a good one. All right. So the dry ingredients for a Frisky, Trim Healthy Table, page 472, if anybody's wondering. So you got cocoa powder, salt, super sweet, glucose, an extract, and some protein powder. Whey is what they call. That's 6 things that you can put into one of those little containers. Then you'll dump that little thing. You add your nut milk, and this is kind of a weird recipe, probably not the best one to use, but you can add either heavy cream or a banana, depending on what fuel, and then add ice. So you're just dumping 3 things instead of getting out your entire kitchen. So that's how I suggest doing that. Now, I do have some clients that will put everything in their blender cup with the blade and just put it in their refrigerator overnight. And then in the morning, you just zip it up and then you drink it. That, in my opinion, would be better. But that's just my opinion. And then I have some clients that will make theirs in the morning and keep it in a stainless steel thing and have it for later in the day. I know you're wanting yours for breakfast, but for anybody else that was interested, one of my clients does do that almost daily. She's a teacher. So she'll drink her Fuel Pool drink on the way, shake on the way home, which is
baby.
now, Lauren, is that right?
Yeah.
So the next question you had is how quickly you should be drinking it. In my opinion, you need to finish it within 30 minutes because, as Gina and I talked about today, she's a one-on-one
Yes, we
client.
did.
Your body needs time to digest and rest to be ready to fuel again in 3 to 4 hours.
Alrighty, thank you.
You're so welcome. Anything else? All right, who's next? Anybody else have a question? It's gonna be an easy night.
Okay, I have another one.
Sure.
So I've got like the Red Bobs or whatever it is, the oatmeal cups, just plain,
Yes.
it's like in a blue thing.
Yes.
I think I saw you shared somewhere before.
Yes.
Maybe a grocery haul. What for prep wise, like what would you put with that to make it very quick out the door?
So you're gonna have to add a protein powder for sure
Okay.
because you need lean protein. So what I do when we're going on a trip is I'll of course run the water through and let it sit and do. Then I add 3 tablespoons of Creamy Dreamy. That's what I'm doing these days. Because that gives our protein. And then I would throw maybe a handful of berries in there just because that container is really not very big, but that would be a really great way to have just a little extra something in your bowl besides just the oatmeal. And probably I might even have a collagen coffee, like a Trimmy or something on top of that to have.
And I'm assuming you would do the Fuel Pool Trimmy.
Correct.
Okay. Thanks.
Welcome. You're welcome. Anybody else? I just want to give all y'all a gold star because I have had 40 people sign up for a class and not ever 14 people would show up. I'm just saying. I'm proud of all y'all for being here. I have had sold out classes and 4 or 5 show up. And I'm not saying they weren't important, but it gets a little boring. All right. Any other questions? Did I tell y'all everything you need to know? Kim had a message. So happy to be here. You learned a lot. Yay! That was my goal, sister. I'm sorry, my finger was all in y'all's face. I wanted to be in the kitchen for this, but I hate being on my phone for the Zoom because I can't see all the things. I don't like that.
I have a question.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, and I know you've said this before, and you probably
okay.
said it last night, but because I'm eating too many E's, I'm like, what, how many S's, E's feel, like throughout the week,
So my suggestion for somebody that's struggling with knowing what fuels to have, I think a good template is to say, I'm going to have at least 1 E and a Fuel Pool afternoon snack. So the other 2 meals can be S, but you could be having 2 E's as a meal. So let's say your breakfast is an S, your lunch is an E, your snack is a Fuel Pool, and your supper is an S. That would be great. Maybe the next day you take out one of those S's and have an E for a meal. That is just a really good template for the weight loss plan, in my opinion. I've seen it work time and time again. If you want to go a step further, something that I teach in group coaching and I do for my level 1 one-on-one clients is I track meals. So I'm actually accessing their information, their food journaling app, and I'm writing down on a calendar like a week at a glance. So it's Sunday through Saturday, and then like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And so say Susan at 8 a.m. she has an S meal. So by 8 a.m. on Sunday, I'll have an S. And then for noon, she had an E. And then for her 3 o'clock snack, a fuel pull, and 6 o'clock supper, an E. So what I like to see my clients do is to have 4 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, snack, supper. That means 28 meals. Okay. So whenever you have 12 to 13 S and E, you've got about the same number of fuel pull. So if you can keep SE and fuel pull kind of equal throughout your week, really close in the teens, that's magic.
Okay.
It does take a little extra kind of thinking things through and all that stuff. But having those fuel pulls daily, oh, y'all, you're only going to have about 7 if you're going to have a fuel pull every day. And you can have a fuel pull meal if you want to. They always leave me hungry, so I don't do them. But some people enjoy them, and you can have them every now and then. We don't want to overdo those. We talked about that in the fuel pull class. But it just really lightens the caloric load, and it's weight loss friendly. It really is. So that's something that I want everyone to understand. Different S meals are very important too, because we don't want to have beef with cheese and bacon and avocado with creamy salad dressing every time we have an S meal. Nobody's going to lose weight eating that. I'm sorry, you're not. So, I mean, you can have that once or twice a week, but don't expect to lose weight having that for your every S meal. You just have to kind of remember to keep things in moderation, and then, kind of go through it that way.
Okay. All right. That helps, because when I tried this years ago and I didn't stick with it very long, I did way too many S's and heavy S's. And
well, they taste good. I mean,
yeah,
really.
They do. They really do. And so this time I think I went the opposite and learned the E's and was like, oh, I like E's. And
Yeah.
then
So we just got to get you in the
yeah.
middle. We
Yeah.
got to get you in the middle, and we'll get you there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I like the idea of tracking on a calendar. I think I need to visualize that for myself.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good.
So
Thanks.
Susan's in buds right now, and I'll be teaching you that week 4. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Pam says, I love the baskets. I have some little baskets for my extracts, my cabinets by my stove, and then for all my sweeteners. I have trouble with figuring out what to have for breakfast. I get bored easy. Oh, okay. Well, I encourage you, Pam, in the cookbooks, there are, if you're a cookbook girl now, there are sections for breakfast in all the cookbooks. So maybe just get a little notebook out, choose a cookbook with your notebook and pen, and maybe just write down a couple that you like. And, maybe even make a batch of muffins or something, and then change that up. I think that's fun. And, maybe try a couple days of having a shake a week, and just see if that can get things changed up, because we don't want to get bored with our food. That is not cool at all. She's allergic to oats. Oh, well, that's sad. Have you tried the quinoa breakfast bowl that everybody's doing? Come on, you can try that. I shared a recipe not too long ago, the chocolate quinoa bowl. It was very good. It was Coach Sarah Truitt's recipe. Very good. It was very easy too. One of my clients said it tasted like Cocoa Pebbles. I've never had Cocoa Pebbles, so I was not sure about that. And that's not because I'm some high and mighty sugar-free person, but I just have never had that before. We were Frosted Flakes people.
Amy, this is Debbie again.
Hey.
On your part 2 Tipsmas video, there was one of the coaches, and I forget her name, but she was a type 1 diabetic, and
Mary
she
Beth.
talked about pulled back E's. What is
Yes.
a pulled back E?
So it's not the full serving of E. In an email, you can have up to 45 grams of carb. So what she's talking about is doing more 20 or 25 grams of carb. And so if you're going to have a sweet potato, you're going to have a smaller portion. Always make sure you're maxing out that protein though. And that's just a good way to keep things more blood sugar friendly for those higher glycemic foods like banana, sweet potato, brown rice, that kind of thing. I'm not well versed in all that. She sure is. And I know she'll be teaching about that in Spring Tipsmas. If any of you guys are interested in that, it's only going to be $27 for the whole week with 12 coaches. And we will be accessible too to answer questions. But that's just for the early bird list. So I would say maybe when she uses bread, she just does one piece and maybe has like a lower glycemic, like a citrusy fruit to go alongside it. Just some different things like that. Would
Okay,
be more
thank
of
you.
a pullbacky. Yeah, just a little less carb. You're welcome. All right, the chat is just a pain in the behind to look for, I swear. All right, not that I don't want to look for it, it's just this darn fun. All right, Pam says, about quinoa, hard time with figuring out protein amounts. I know I'm not getting enough. So you just need to look at your packaging or just Google it. How much protein's in this? Now, when you're thinking about like a hamburger patty or a chicken breast, a hamburger patty or a chicken breast is going to be enough protein. 2 eggs, maybe a little breakfast meat. That's enough protein. When you're looking at other things like yogurt or protein powders, just read the label and just use that to know. In a meal, we're going to have 20 to 30 grams of protein, and a snack 10 to 15. And that's going to be a really good number. And that's what's taught in the Trim Healthy Mama Plan book. All right. Any other questions?
Hey, Amy, it's Lauren again. Real quick, the mixed nuts and THM chocolate chips, was that a fuel pool that you mentioned?
No, that's going to be an S, the fat. from the
Okay, because
nut.
I was thinking because of the nuts. That's why, because you said a quarter cup, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do a little bit more if you want to, but that's just what I always do. I've always been pretty happy with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Are you a fan of overnight oats? I've never made overnight oats. I'm allergic to dairy. So do you have recommendation for a dairy alternative in that recipe? Where is that recipe? Is overnight oats? Is there one of those in Trim Healthy Cookbook? For some reason, I want to say that there is.
I think it's in the cookbook. I know Felicia Lauer has posted a lot about it.
I will tell y'all a secret. Coach Amy does not follow other coaches. It stresses me out. I'm gonna do me and they gonna do them. But if I see everything that all of them do, because we're personal friends, then I would get very overwhelmed. So that's why I don't know those things. But I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. Dairy free. So what dairy goes in overnight oats? Maybe that's a better place to start.
Just yogurt.
Oh,
Yogurt. So that would be, I guess, the protein.
yes. So I would use unsweetened nut milk and a protein powder.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're cute as pie. Overnight oats. Sweet Dreams oatmeal bowls. Yeah, so this is on page 247 in Trim Healthy Cookbook. This is oats, nut milk, water, peaches, sweetener, salt, protein powder, and you can top with some cottage cheese or yogurt. So this might be a good one for you to check out because it doesn't have the Greek yogurt as, a main ingredient. That'd be cool.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I have made the Sweet Dreams cookie bowl oatmeal, but I did not do it overnight. You're supposed to, but I didn't. I'm sorry about my cough, y'all. Oh, there's another chat. Can we use other chocolate chips besides THM for mixed nuts? Oh, yeah, sure. You can use any on-plan chocolate chips. So Lily's would be fine. Now, some of those are personal choice due to dextrin. So you'll want to do the milk chocolate and the dark, I know for sure are good to go. And then Bake Believe has chocolate chips that are on plan. And there's another one from Whole Foods, but I can't remember. 365. I don't know. I can't remember. So anyway, yeah, those are all acceptable on plan chocolate chips. I just use the THM chocolate chips because they are dairy free and they do not have inulin, and that hurts my tummy. So I try not to do too many Lilies. Y'all, Southern sees me, my dog, and he is not happy that he cannot come to me. Okay, let's see.
Amy, I did
Yes.
think of one thing. Some recipes are calling for the pure, forgive me if I'm getting this wrong. It's a THM product, the pure stevia, I think.
Mhm.
I've seen the conversion chart, but what do you recommend or what do you prefer if you had to substitute something for that? Do
So
you
is
have a
this-
preference?
Is this a drink or a baked item?
I'm trying to remember. I want to say that it was one I think was a smoothie. One was a smoothie, and then one I think was a baked item because I saw it in two. I don't remember which one. You know,
So
I think the
usually-
smoothie was the strawberry banana from Trim Healthy Future.
Okay. I use a tablespoon of super sweet in all my smoothies. That's the only sweetener I use.
Okay.
Just because it's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, as far as a baked good, you're right. 1 to 3 donks. It's really just to add the sweetness to it. So what
Okay.
I would do is I would just sweeten it with whatever you like. Like I use a tablespoon of super sweet in my shakes. Done. It's what I've done that for a long time. And just taste it and see.
Okay.
And if you need a little more, it's not going to hurt a single thing to add a little more sweetener. And then also your batter of your baked goods. Gentle Sweet is usually best in baked goods. So you may just want to do that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Checking the clock. Anybody else have a question? My buds group notifications are blowing my phone up. They're just a good one. Okay, guys, last chance. Any more questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome, girl. Well, that was so fun. I love being in my kitchen and talking to people about THM. It's my favorite. So that was fun. It was a good little change. Next week, I think I'm talking about crossovers. And then starting in April, my classes will be on Wednesday nights due to baseball. Pam just asked how she saves this video. You don't, but I do. And you will be emailed the replay by noon tomorrow. It'll be unlisted YouTube link. All right. All right. Thanks, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
It was great.